Welcome everyone, this is the Tin Meister, and today we're going to start off our episode with a little quiz. Some of you are going to know the answer to this. What car do you think we're going to be examining today? Examining. There it is. It's one of those cars. Which one is it? Today we're going to take a look at a very famous car by Schuco, the Examico. One of the most popular cars ever made by Schuco. One of the most iconic cars. Only a couple of them are more iconic. But this is the Examico, and we're going to take a close look at it. Let me get behind the camera and we'll take a look at a few of these toys. So as we said, the cars were made as early as 1939, and this is the earliest example that I have. This is pre-war Germany, pre-World War Germany this car was built. Now, the Examico is a fascinating car in that it shifts 4 forward gears, it goes into neutral, it also has reverse, it has steering, and it has a brake. And there's a clutch on the side right there. We'll take a look later on as it operates for us. There's the dashboard. You can see where all the 4 gears are. Neutral is 0 and reverse is R, of course. So pre-World War Germany, as far as Schuco was concerned, lasted up to about 1940, and then they quit production of the cars. So this car was probably made in either 1939 or 1940. There it is, made in Germany, and that shows that it's made in pre-World War II Germany. I'm pointing out something that you're going to see a little later. There's an arm that connects the steering on each of the steering knuckles, and a lot of times that's missing on the Examico. There's the clutch. And the next car here is made just after World War II. This was made in U.S. zone Germany. All the Schuco cars then were made in Nuremberg, as most of the tin toys were in Germany. Many manufacturers were in Nuremberg. So there we go, made in U.S. zone Germany. The cars are nearly identical. There are some detail difference. The wheels and tires are a little different and so on. Now the next one, oh, there's Fritz. That's right. Now that happens to be a replica of Fritz, but Fritz was actually built by Schuco back in the day, and you could have bought him with one of your cars. So here's one made in Western Germany. So this is later. This is a fairly rare car where the front opens up and you can see in and see how the mechanics work for the Examico. All the functions are the same. Still 4 forward speeds and so on. So let's take a look now at this array of cars. Pre-World War II Germany, and there's U.S. zone Germany, and then Western Germany. And that is also an Examico, believe it or not. And that car is based on the Jaguar XK120. This is a fairly rare car. You might still be able to find it at auction. Now this is an example that Schuco made of a cutaway of the Examico, so you can look in and see the various components and mechanics of the car. And here's a store display of both the Examico and the Acoustico. The Acoustico is the sister car to the Examico, and if you collect Schuco, if you have an Examico, you really need to get an Acoustico. And we'll go into that car a little bit later in one of our other episodes. And then later on, they made another Examico called the Examico 2, and that's this car. We'll also do maybe an episode on the Examico 2, but it is on the same family as the original Examico 4001. So here's that XKE 120 Jaguar Examico by Schuco. It does pretty much the same stuff. You can see the The dashboard there has 4 forward speeds and so on, and it has the brake there, you can see, and it has steering, but it doesn't have a clutch on the side. But it's a very unusual body shape for Schuco. Kind of a caricature of a Jaguar XK120. And there you go, Schuco Examico, Roadster XK120, and it says Germany. So this is after maybe the fall of the wall where Germany was consolidated. So they made the complete circle. Back in the day it was made in Germany, and now it's made in Germany. And here's the Examico 2. Same body style as the Combinato and a couple of other cars, but the grille in the front's different, and certainly the dashboard's different, that sort of thing. It has 4 forward speeds, a brake and steering, but it doesn't have a clutch. And here's the bottom of the Schuco Examico 2 4004, made in Western Germany. And just to take a look, here is a preview of the Acoustico. The Acoustico doesn't have gears like the Examico, but what it does have is a horn. And if you press on the horn button, and I'm not going to let you hear it until you see the next episode, but if you press on the horn button, the horn will sound. And it has 2 motors, a wind up for the drive and a wind up for the horn. So here's some stills of the Examico. This is the one that's pre-World War II. So here are the stills again, and you can take a look at the dashboard here. 4 gears, 0 is neutral, R is reverse. Here's the bottom of the car. And I want to point out something here. See, this is the part that connects the 2 steering knuckles, and many times that's missing on the Schuco car if you look at them like on eBay and so on, so be careful. So coming up are some photographs of the cutaway model by Schuco of the Examico. Pretty fascinating to take a look at the workings of these cars and how ingenious they were to make them and be able to mass produce these cars. Lots and lots of Examicos were made. And here is an example of the BMW 328 from the 1930s that the Examico was based on. And coming up is a photograph, of course, of the Jaguar XK120. So let's see how this stuff works. Let's put our Schuco number 2 key in here and wind it up. So we're using an example of the Examico, the one that's made in US Zone Germany. The reason I'm doing that is because the car is lighter and it's probably easier for you guys to see. So it has steering, it has the shifting and all that stuff. So we've wound it up, we put in first gear, and there it goes in first. Pretty quick off the line. Let's use the clutch, push the clutch down, put it in second, and it goes even faster actually. Give it some time. So let's try third gear. Put down the clutch in third gear, a little slower off the line, but once it gets going, it's moving right down the road. And then we'll try fourth. And we might be running out of a little spring power here, so we might have to rewind a little bit. Let's try neutral. And let's try reverse. Yeah, I think we need to wind that car up a little bit. Let's put that brake on. There we go. And you can see the gear shift there. That's neutral, and let's try reverse. It's giving me a hard time here. Of course, right in front of the camera, it's always giving me a hard time. There we go. And back into first. So that's the end of our examination of the Schuco Examico, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. The reason we did this episode is one of you asked to see the Examico, and I really appreciate you asking. So until next time, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Good night, everyone.